I still didn't know how I'd gone from drinking myself numb in New Jersey to looting corpses in Brazil, but this was where I was.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mr. J here, bringing you a review for Max Payne 3. It took me a while to get through the game. I had to gather my thoughts, see how I really feel, because this is a franchise that I really like. I mean, I've been with this since the first Max Payne, since the first bullet times. I loved Max Payne. There were some questionable times where there were some missions that were a little off, but the action was the best. I mean, there was nothing to compare to this. There's nothing out there that was like Max Payne, the bullet time, the shoot dodge, all that stuff. Although it may have been influenced by, other things, like John Woo and, Chow Yun-Fat and all those great movies they made together, like The Killer and Hard Boiled. There was no game out there like this. There still really isn't a game out there like this that has all these elements and make this so much fun. And that is what makes this game great, that it is so much fun to play. Granted, it's a great presentation, the levels are great, everything's beautiful, and there's a decent storyline, but it's just so much fun to play. There's so much you can do with it. And that's really what my review is going to be based on. 3 things: presentation, the fun factor, which is the gameplay, and the storyline, which I think everyone really enjoys a good storyline. Maybe I've been spoiled by games like Mass Effect, but the storyline here is pretty decent. Nothing crazy. Same old Max, emo, always talking to himself, always having dialogues, throws in a couple funny jokes in there every now and then like we're used to. But this is going to be my honest opinion about the game, even though I hold it very close to me because I do love the franchise. I'm going to give you a pretty biased, review about it, because I'm not going to, tell you to go, get something out there that it's not really worth it. So I'm going to just break it down to you guys, how, why I like it, why it's a great game, and why you should consider it as something you might want to pick up, even though it would be a good rent, just for the weekend to play it and have all the fun. But there's a couple things in here that I'm going to start off saying. One of the things that I do not like that they added was a stupid multiplayer. Publishers have to understand, you don't have to add multiplayer to everything to sell, man. Like Mass Effect, I don't think that should have had a multiplayer. And this definitely should not have had a freaking multiplayer. This is about all the fun you can have while shoot dodging and bullet time and shooting people in the face and slowing down bullets and all that good stuff. I don't understand the purpose of the multiplayer. But I digress. Let's get to the review. So presentation, big thing here, and big upgrade. Questionable attire right there. But Brazil, it's in Brazil, so no longer nighttime. We have daytime and sun, and apparently Brazilian chicks with big booties. I guess stereotypical. But look at the motion capture. This is pretty good. I mean, everything's nicely detailed, from his shirt to his bald head to the characters. It's a pretty good presentation. I mean, granted, it's a big departure from the old gritty nighttime, snow-covered levels and maps from before in 1 and 2, but they do a pretty good job. And they have some pretty good soundtracks and all this to all the parties he goes to and all that. Overall presentation is pretty good. There's a lot of things they did good here besides just the lighting and the colors. There's a lot of features that they've added to, like quick little cinematic sequences here where you go from being in a cutscene sort of thing to being live action and having, to do something. Just the transitions in this game are very, very good. Like, check this out. So cool. Real quick thing, just get to shoot a guy. So all you gotta do, just aim and shoot. But it's really cool to watch. And while you're playing, it's a very good, little add-on, little thing they throw in. And another thing that they made really good with are the transitions from chapter to chapter. As you play from level to level, you'll have these real quick cutscenes where you go from one right into the other. And I think that was so good that they did that. It was so cool. Even though they are disguising the loading times and the loading screens and all that right within this. But, they're great cinematic sequences that are shot really nicely. And, you get a lot of backstory in them and everything. So, turns out pretty well. Now, gameplay. Same old Well, this is actually old school Max, in a level you get to go back and, to see how you got to Brazil in the first place. But same old Max, little cover system that they've added. Same old bullet time, slowing down time. I'm actually using the golden 1911s here. One of the perks of 1911s is that you get, more ammo when you have the golden guns equipped. 1911s usually hold 8. Right now it's holding 12. So that's one of the added perks. Even though it doesn't look nice and doesn't, aesthetically look cool, like to carry around those golden guns, it serves a purpose. And another thing they've added, well, that I've noticed that they added, is the ability to switch from shoulder to shoulder, which is really cool. I mean, right now I'm aiming down my left shoulder because I see some people on the left. Quickly get behind cover, switch it over. Now this guy's on the right, and that's a great, great thing to do. It helps you out a lot in combat. Let's say you're coming out of cover, you want to just slightly come out a bit, see what's going on around you. You can use the cover system, or you can just, come out aimed, so you get a quicker shot, and just switch over to the right or the left, depending on what side you're coming from. So that's a great thing. Bullet time. You can slow down bullets like I'm doing right there while holding A. And you can just empty a whole clip into the guy if you want. It's still fun to do. So that's back. The cover system's pretty cool. Another thing they added is these, little melee kills, which goes into a quick cinematic thing, which are pretty hot. Check this out. Golden 1911s yet again. And that's pretty cool that they've added, just in case you get really up close to someone and let's say you don't have a good shot on them. That'll get you into a quick cinematic. But this is the old school gameplay. This is the stuff I really liked. Well, I really started liking the game at the second disc when, I got back to the old school way of Max, tight corridors, people coming at you. You just got one little bit of cover, them destroying all the walls around you. And that's the original Max that I like. That's the Max that I grew into 1 and 2 that I liked, fighting the odds when you use your bullet time and your shoot dodge and all that, and apparently sucking at the blind fire, because yeah, the blind fire is kind of, if they're not like directly in front of you, you're not really gonna hit them. I mean, you have to be really good. It's kind of a spray and drag type of thing to try to get the hits right there, but it's something new they added, and it works really good. I guess if you time your shots kind of right, like right there. God, I love watching that. But the second disc is what really got me into the game. I'm not even gonna lie. The scene like this reminds me of the second to last level on the first Max Payne, where you're in the building and you're fighting all these armed guards with vests and all that, and just you and your bullet time. You have to try to get past all these dudes with their lasers and all these overpowered weapons and body armor. And this is what Max is really about. This is where the fun comes in, where you challenge yourself to try to, time your shots right and get, a better advantage on them by using your bullet time. Look at all these lasers, dude. That is such a cool scene right there. Like, God, look at that. And that's what Max was about to me. That's what made the fun fact. Now the storyline. I'm not going to divulge too much about it because I want you guys to go out and play it and find out. But it's not very personal, even though he does really want to find out what's going on and why all the people around him are dying. And there might be some backstabbing and betrayal, but, you guys go out and play it. The story is pretty good. I mean, it's not top-notch, it ain't no Mass Effect story, but it's a pretty decent story to go along with a game that is mostly based on the fun factor of you shooting up all these dudes, and they're good. Blind fire, failing me. Let's try that again. So, guys, just go out, try it out, play it, and I personally love the game, so I would suggest buying it, and if you can rent it, and just play through it and have all the fun you can. So I'm going to leave you with this last little bit to enjoy. Hope you liked it. Go watch the video, rate it, like it, subscribe, enjoy.
This was it. It was almost over. So I guess I'd become what they wanted me to be. A killer. Some rent-a-clown with a gun who puts holes in other bad guys. Well, that's what they had paid for, so in the end, that's what they got. Say what you want about Americans, but we understand capitalism. You buy yourself a product and you get what you pay for. And these chumps had paid for some angry gringo without the sensibilities to know right from wrong.